Hey y'all. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. We do not own the rights to this music. Welcome to Fiery Friday to the replay viewers. I'm super excited that you're here. So glad that you joined us tonight. Listen, go ahead, share the broadcast. It's going to be an exciting conversation. You don't want to miss a moment of it. You know somebody that needs to be a part of this conversation. So we are talking about what's the rush. Y'all know. I'm super excited. I am Tisha Marie, Coach T Marie is what they call me. Tisha Marie Johnson. I'm super excited to be here with you. Thank you so much for joining. I just want to make sure I'm live and all of the different places I'm supposed to be live. So say hello so that we can say hello back. And we're going to have a good conversation tonight. So again, welcome and thank you for being here. Listen, Coach Jay is having some technicals, but he'll be on shortly. But again, thank you so much for being here and welcome. I hope that you've had an incredible week. Listen, my mind has been blown this week. I'm super excited. Got some great things going on. But you can check out my page for those things. If you haven't joined the group, then certainly we want you to be a part of For the Lover and You group. The link is screaming, scrolling across the bottom of the page. You can join the group, connect with us, let us know that you want to be a part of the group. So in the meantime, in between time, we're going to get this conversation started. So again, welcome to Fiery Friday. So we have the hard conversations, or at least start the hard conversations so that you don't have to. But listen, you have got to have the hard conversations. And so you know, our mission, our goal is to equip and empower, encourage those of you who want to be in a loving relationship. Maybe you've been in one, a long term relationship, or maybe you've even been in a covenant relationship. Maybe you're divorced. Maybe you're single again. Maybe you're single, never been married. No matter what the situation is, you can always get something from this conversation. So, again, thanks for joining us and welcome. I'm super excited that you're here. So, why rush? This was a conversation that was going on in the group this week. And so we just thought that we talk about it because, hey, D, hey, Danisha, hey, Rosalind, we thought we'd talk about it because, you know, on this side of divorce, can I just talk about my story? On this side of divorce, you really think about some things that you experienced, and it's like, wow, I really didn't have to go through that hurt and that pain. However, if you're like me, I got married at 21 the first time. So I didn't know what I was doing. And it really wasn't a rush, but at the same time, it was like, okay, why not? You know, why not? I have this person that I'm in love with. They're in love with me. Let's go on and do the dang on thing. Hey, Denise. And so you need a lot more than that. Can I just say? And if you've been through, at a young age, I can say that, yeah, I hadn't had a lot of heartbreak at that point. I had some things that, you know, were on my heart and on my mind. But what I discovered is that I really did have it all wrong. Good evening, good evening. Thanks for joining. That my pursuit for love, because that's what it was. It was a pursuit for love, looking in the wrong places. Now, that's no indictment on my ex. Great guy. As a matter of fact, I really think we were both looking for the same thing. We both had some kind of traumatic things, had some strained parental relationships, and so we were looking for something. We were looking for love. Hey, Say hello. Listen, if you're commenting and I can't see who you are, you got to tell me who you are so that at least I don't feel like I'm talking to a ghost. Hey, Ebony, thanks for joining us, sis. So, we were both looking for something. So, listen, first of all, you need to know who you are. You have no business. Can I say this? You have no business getting married because we're talking about marriage. You have no business getting married and you don't even have a clue who you are. What do you like? Have you experienced enough life to know the things that you like, to know what you don't like, to understand who you are? Because you are a whole work in and of yourself. Can I just say that? Your temperament, what motivates you, what encourages you, what makes you, hey Ronald, thanks for joining. What makes you who you are? Do you even understand that? And listen, if you haven't experienced those things through life, whether it's going to college, whether it's, I went to college initially for like a year and a half, left because I didn't want to be there anyway, honestly and truly. But you know what? Let me tell you, had I known my purpose, I'd have stayed. But I had no clue. So you got to know who you are. You need to know your purpose in life. Otherwise, you're taking a person on this journey kind of that they don't really deserve to be on, at least not in a covenant commitment. Yes, we can date and take the journey together. We can even be in a committed relationship and take the journey together. But when you're talking about marriage, there needs to be some solids. There needs to be some specifics. You need to know some stuff. So, can I say, ladies? Because Coach J ain't here to talk for the fellas. So I can only talk for the ladies. Ladies, let's not be in a rush to and I appreciate the millennials because they're waiting longer to get married, which is a great thing because you need to know you. Who are you? You have this expectation for this person to make you happy, not their responsibility. You have this expectation for this person to, kind of lead you and guide you, not their responsibility. You've been hurt, you've been through some traumatic things because there are some very, very traumatic situations that people have lived through. And so here you are, and you're expecting this person to help you heal. Now, I'm not saying that they can't help you heal, but again, not their responsibility. Let's see if we got Coach J. I don't know. Not their responsibility to help you heal. So there's a whole lot that you go. There's a whole lot that needs to happen with you before you put yourself in this relationship experience kind of situation where you're wanting. And I listen, again, I got married at 21. So I get it. I get it that you want love and you want to be loved. But listen, if you don't know how to love you, if you don't know 25 things, the ladies that have been around me, they know. You need to make a list of 25 things that you like. Not that has something to do with, oh, he like playing football and he like watching boxing on Saturday night. What do you like? 25 things that you like. And I challenge you to be doing at least 5 of those things. I don't know what's going on with his connection. I challenge you to be doing at least 5 of those things or one thing per month that you like to do for you. Because as great as relationship is, as great And as amazing as marriage can be, you you really need to understand that you can't spend 24/7 with this person. Somebody got to go to work. Somebody got to take care of the kids if kids are involved. Somebody got to pay the bills. Somebody got to, there's a whole lot that goes into that. But if we are expecting to be up under this person 24/7, listen, yeah, not going to work. Not going to work at all. So you have to know you got to understand who you are. You need to like really have spent some time with you. And then what is it that you want to do? Because I'm here to tell you, you can be with a great person. Nice, brought up good morals, good character, responsible, all of that, dependable, whatever is on the characteristics that you desire. But let me help you. If your purpose, for example, if I were called to be a missionary in third world countries, I'm going to need somebody anointed. I'm going to need somebody who's suited to really compliment me. And ladies, when we talk about us being a helpmeet, okay, you got to flip that script. Are you equipped, anointed, prepared to help him do the work that he's been called to do, to help him fulfill his purpose and his mission in the earth? Is that you? And what does that look like? Do you have the skills? Do you have the talent? I know of some relationships where the person looked like they could fit the part, but when it came down to it, couldn't help you. Can't make a call, can't bake a cake, can't be hospitable, and always pulling you. Listen, the last thing you want, especially if you know the work that you've been called to do, what you've been, purpose to do. The last thing you want is somebody in your life, your spouse, your significant other, your partner pulling you from that. No, they need to be walking with you toward that. You don't have to be on the same path, but my goodness, we need to be walking in the same direction. Otherwise, it's a mess. Again, let me talk about me, because I don't want to put my stuff on y'all. It was a pull, knowing now you're not gonna ever pull me from doing what I'm supposed to do, but you can make it uncomfortable. Anybody understand what I mean by that? You don't make it easy for the person to do the work that they know they've been. You should make it easy. Can I say? Some of y'all in ministry, y'all understand this. Can I say that when I was married, and I'm talking operating in my calling, my gift, those were the most challenging times with my spouse. I'm preparing to minister, and you done got on my last nerve. Now, I'm not saying the person did it purposely, because we know the enemy has an agenda. But when you think about purpose, is this person helping to propel you into purpose, or not so much? So you gotta really, that's such a huge piece that I wish I knew younger. I wish I had known my purpose. I promise you. Now, I'm not mad about it. I don't regret the things that have happened in my life. I have some very key relationships that would not have happened otherwise. So I don't regret it. However, if there's a better way, Take the better way. Okay, like seriously. All right, you guys, share this broadcast if you have not done so already. Hey, everybody, say hello so that I can say hello back. I am viewing you from a couple different places. I can only see part of the comments. So, again, thank you so much for being here and welcome to the Fiery Friday conversation. I am Tisha Marie Johnson. I'm excited to be here. Yeah, Coach Jay, I don't know where he is. Having trouble. Technology has been a trip. That was me on Zoom this week. Zoom was like acting cuckoo crazy. So again, I appreciate you being here. Listen, it's a conversation. I'm not here to, I can talk about me, but let's have a conversation about it. Like seriously, let me check the group. See what y'all talking about over there. All right, all right. So number one, please know your purpose. Know your purpose. At least be on the way to operating in your purpose because it matters. And what if you connect with someone who really has some deep seated issues that are contrary to the path that you're trying to go on? What if we talk about compatibility. It's not enough just to be compatible. It's not enough just to have amazing chemistry. It's got to be deeper than that. And it takes work sometimes to find those things out. And the topic of don't rush, you have to take some time to get to know people, get to know who they really are, because it's said that initially you meet their representative and then you meet the real them. Do you really like who they are, all of who they are? And if not, then you make some decisions. You don't stay stuck in a relationship just because y'all look good together. Oh, everybody expects us to get married. Okay, but if that's not what you want, if that's not the best for your life, then why would you do it? I always think about a couple Tyler Perry movies actually, but I think about the movie Good Deeds, where Tyler Perry plays the son who's running the family company and all of that. He did that as the expectation from his father and his mother and all of that, but that really wasn't his heart's desire. It really wasn't his purpose and mission. And at a point he had to say enough is enough. Listen, you don't want to, especially for a covenant commitment, you don't want to be in the midst of that covenant commitment and say, oh yeah, 10 years in, well, it's been nice, it's been good. I don't know if it's been real nice, but yeah, it's over. No, you don't want to find yourself in that situation because that's not cool. So, hey CJ, so you definitely want to make sure that you take the time. Taking the time is necessary. So I have two cousins, two female cousins, who waited like well into their 30s, I want to say. I think one of my cousins was over 40 when she finally got married. And so, with both of them, they waited. Now, I'm not going to say I rushed, but again, I got married at 21. So, okay, we was in a hurry to get there. Okay. And so in retrospect, hindsight is 2020. There was no rush. There were some things that needed to happen. And so that's why it's key to have people around you, people in your life that can help you in the midst of the decisions that you make. You got to be surrounded. Who's your tribe? Who's your community? Who is it that you listen to? Who is it that helps you make the decisions? I know you're grown, you're real grown, but you still need guidance. You still need wisdom from the elders. That's what, if we're going to talk about the Bible, the older women, the aged women are supposed to teach the younger women. Where's the teaching? Where's that happening? Or I'm grown, you don't tell me what to do. Well, that's why stuff look like it look, at least in our community, because we think we know everything and we don't want to hear what wisdom has to say. But at a point, you bump your head against that brick wall enough times, you'll sit your tail down, listen to what wisdom has to say. The Bible said there's safety in a multitude of counselors. So you've got to have people around you that are able to help you and lead you and guide you as you are navigating through this thing called life. Listen, it's no joke. And you certainly don't want to hit 40 and think, what the heck did I do with the last 20 years of my life? You don't want to hit 50 and say, OMG, what's really going on? No, you want to take the time, get the wisdom, get the instruction. Now I think about my marital situations and I think about the premarital counseling. And though one was a little lengthier, but it really didn't get to the issues. It didn't get to the issues that needed to be gotten to, honestly and truly. Because had that happened, I never would have made that decision to be with that person. Had we really gotten to like that deep stuff that don't readily show, or the questions that you don't even know you need to ask. So yeah, you're grown. Yeah, you think you know, but wisdom will get some. I mean, it's like a lot of things that we do. You don't start a job and never have some kind of training. You at least need to know the culture of the company. You need to know the human resource policies and procedures. So in every instance in life, you get some kind of training, some kind of instruction to help you navigate through that journey. When I started with the government, there were rules and regulations. There were things that had to happen. Of course, in the hiring process, there were things that needed to happen. Otherwise, it couldn't be completed. Think about when I switched agencies and went into law enforcement. There was a whole, I didn't have a background check per se. And I'm sure they checked some things, but I didn't have as in-depth of a background check because, it took me to a different dimension in terms of the government. So, there's always some instruction. There's always some policy, some procedures, some stuff that you really need to know, some things that you need to adhere to in order for that to be a successful journey. So you definitely want to get some wisdom from those who've been there, done that. Ronald said you got to make sure that they're healed too. Absolutely. How about you start with healing you? Are you healed? Are you really healed? Or have you just done some surface healing? If I knew then what I knew now, I understand the things that I hadn't dealt with, which caused me to make the decisions that I made in terms of relationship. I ain't talking about nobody. Listen, don't be like, oh, she bashing her exes. You don't even know who I'm talking about, so you can't possibly say that I'm bashing my exes, because I'm not. I'm talking about me. I wasn't healed. Because when when your heart is broken, you make some jacked up decisions. When your heart is broken, you can't see clearly anyway. When you are emotionally unstable, don't nobody get mad because I'm saying that. When you're emotionally unstable, when your emotions are all over the place, you cannot make life-changing decisions. You can't do it. Now I know the situations, because when you think about longevity in a committed relationship, in a marriage, yes, there are situations that sometimes those are the things that bring us closer together. But I'm talking about before you even get there. When you are trying to decide, is this the person that I really want to do life with? If we disagree on something that I feel strong about, how am I going to receive that person? How am I going to deal with that person? And they can't see it from my perspective at all. Is that going to affect the relationship? There are so many questions that need to be asked when you're going to go into a deeper relationship. Ronald says some people be counseling folks from a broken place and the spirits just transfer. Ooh, we, yes, sir. From a broken place. Now listen, don't confuse that with, are you 100% healed? I don't think any of us are 100% healed on this side of the ground, this part of life experience. I think there's transformation that needs to be continually happening. But when you're stuck and you're not trying to deal with the issues, you're not trying to grow, you're not trying to mature, you're not trying to deal with the things that are boom in your face, then you want to make sure that if you're not doing it, then is that other person doing it? If you're not doing your part, what can you expect from the other person? Moving on doesn't mean that you're healed. Absolutely not. At all. And fellas, sorry. Y'all can chime in. Please chime in. It appears that men move on faster. It does. In a lot of situations. I'm not saying every situation, but it appears that the fellas just. But usually he checked out a long time ago. Again, I guess I have to talk about me. And I don't know if I put this in the book or not. But listen. Before he was out the door, he had moved on. Point blank, period. He knew. He had already known that this just wasn't going to work. It was, time to put the last nail in the coffin. But he had already moved on. Which was one of the reasons why I was like, well, why don't you just leave in the first place? Because you don't want to be here. And you don't want to be here with me. Or you don't want to be in this relationship. So leave. A lot of times it appears, and listen, it doesn't matter. Can I help you? It doesn't matter what it appears that they did. It doesn't even matter what you see that they did. You don't know if they're healed. You don't know if they're taking the same behavior into the next relationship, which usually they are, especially if now I'm talking about men or women. You don't know if they are because they haven't taken the time to deal with what they've been needing to deal with. They haven't taken the time to address that horrible behavior. They haven't taken the time to do that. So listen, why be mad? I know so many women that get upset. He done moved on. How could he? Well, he did. Let that be it and get over it. I know you put in time, you put in money, you put in your everything. I get it. Oh, listen. I understand. But if he don't want to be there with you, why would you want him to be? If he doesn't want to commit to the process of healing your relationship with him, Why does it matter? Why are you breaking your neck to make somebody be in a relationship they don't want to be in? Why? Ain't no money, ain't no time. Listen, I could get mad and say he wasted my time. I spent X amount of years in this relationship. Where's that gonna get me? That just means that the next time you face that door of decision, that you need to be in a better space so that you can decide, are we opening the door? Are we letting somebody in? Are we leaving? What are we doing? So, yes, I agree wholeheartedly. Don't rush into that committed relationship. You got to have time to see a person for who they really are. And then once you see that, you make the determination as to whether or not that's where you want to be. You want to stake your claim right there. So get to know the person that you're in a relationship with. But more importantly, get to know all of who you are. Have you done the work? Have you done the healing work? Have you done the preparation work? Have you done your work? Beloved, I'm here to in the words of Ayanla. Have you done the work required so that you can be your best for them? But guess what? When you're your best possible, you may look at someone who you considered previously and go, yeah, I must have hit my head. uh, I'm sure this is Ronald. Flow and Yah's timing. It's important to spend time with Yah so that we know when to move. Absolutely. So, back to the point, yes, you may listen, you may have had a dream and a whole bunch of other stuff to let you know that this is the person. But I agree, you got to know if this is the time. Listen, the right person at the wrong time is still the wrong decision. So you want to make sure that okay, is this the right person? Am I being the right person for us to have this relationship? And is now the timing? Sometimes the timing is off. You can be a great person, seem like everything is together, seem like everything clicking and flowing, and it doesn't. And so don't force it. don't try to make it something that is not, because it's still going to end in hurt and pain and devastation. Hey Dana, thanks for joining. And if you've been hurt enough, I've had so much hurt. And I'm not saying the other person is responsible. I own up to my responsibility in every hurtful situation because I made a choice. Now you make a decision based on who they present themselves to be. Yes. And if that changes along the way, then you got to make some choices. So I don't blame it all on them. But listen, I just, at this point, you have to love you enough. You have to love you such that you can back away, or you can step back or step aside, because you certainly, again, at this point, I'm not willing, if I don't have to be hurt. Now I'm not talking about he might say something that hurt my feelings. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a situation where this person is going to blatantly hurt you. this person is going to exhibit behavior that is far from what you want. No, I'm not talking about that kind of situation. You gotta make the determination. And I'm just like, I've been hurt enough. I don't want to. So the one thing that I posted this week said that it's better to wait long than to marry wrong. And I know that to be true. So many of us didn't have the patience to wait. Yeah, I pray that we have grown and are wiser. Absolutely. Didn't have the patience. And if I had, oh my goodness, again, hindsight is 2020. But if I had waited, man, I'd have been a millionaire like 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Life would just be so different. But you don't know what you don't know. And when you are broken, when you're hurt, when you're in pain, when you haven't dealt with the trauma, when you haven't dealt with the unresolved issues, you make decisions that are not good for your life. And so I hope that you will, have the hard conversation. Sometimes it's a matter of miscommunication. We all have to get better with that. I am, whoo, I know that, what do I want to say? I think I want to say, I know that my time is soon coming because of the pruning that's happening, the molding, the shaping. I'm like, okay. Because, you don't know if you're ready until you like really, really get out there and explore some things. But I appreciate where I am because I'm like, okay, yeah. Whereas I thought, all right, I had this together. No, go back. Consider your tone. Consider the thought process that made you get to what actually came out of your mouth. Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot. Are you willing to do your work? So many of us didn't have the patience. Oh, I read that already. I thought, oh, okay, yeah. I'm sorry. We read that already. So yeah, you definitely want to spend the time with you. Spend time alone. Spend time alone. Sometimes I think we look at what we don't want. I don't want to be single. Therefore, I'm going to pursue not being single. But the more you look at it, the more you'll have it. The more you think about it, the more you'll have it. So you got to learn to change your mind, your mindset. What are the things that you're thinking about? What is it that you really truly have done to prepare yourself for what you desire? I think about it. Yeah, if he came tomorrow, he wouldn't have no drawer space. He wouldn't have no closet space. He wouldn't have none of that. I have to prepare for that. I mean, now we talking about moving in faith and doing some different things. Men have to release their pride so they can receive the favor of a wife. Yes, because what I do know is, yes, I'm already a wife, though I don't have a husband right now. And yes, you don't miss out on your favor. You don't want to miss out on your favor. You don't want to mistreat the one who could favor you. Nonetheless, so there's preparation that needs to happen for the women as well as for the men. Fellas, please get around some strong-minded men. Listen, as much as we love cousin Pookie and cousin Ray Ray, if they are not going where you're trying to be, you gotta come on. You gotta change your path. You have to change those who you hang around. What I heard a different perspective on this. You are the sum total of the 5 people that you hang around the most, but you have attracted those 5 people to you. Oh, wait, that should revolutionize somebody's thinking tonight. If you are not satisfied with where your life is, consider who's around you. Who is it that you're talking to the most? Who is in your ear? Who can speak to you? Like the real you. Who knows the real you? Or do you just have surface and superficial relationships? I hope anybody over 20, you are 21 and an adult, I hope that you are having great relationships in your life. Hang around men and women who have been married for 10 plus years. Yeah. And they're out there. It may seem like everybody getting divorced. Everybody ain't getting divorced. And there are people still getting married. So what is it that you choose to focus on? What is it that is the guidance? What is the model that you are looking to live your life by? And if it's not somebody up close, then hey, with social media, you can connect virtually in spaces that have what you need. If what you need is not around you, if what you need is not easily accessible, then go online. That's like saying, I can only date men in Michigan. Why? Why for? That doesn't have to be the case. You know what I'm saying? Because there are options, there are opportunities that nowadays maybe we didn't have back in the day. So, though my first husband, I didn't meet him in Michigan, and we got married in Michigan, but we didn't live in Michigan. So, it still is possible. It even happened back then. Okay, so yeah, you know, I'm done. So much stuff in my life, but nonetheless, you definitely want to consider those things. Don't rush into a situation, and you gotta figure this and consider the person's motive. Why would they be rushing to? Now, it's one thing. Let me just say this: we're not dating for 5, 7, 10 years, and you still don't know if you want to be with me. You be with me in this space, but you don't know if we're gonna take this relationship further. I'm sorry. That's not even how men operate. So if that's the kind of man that you have, again, there are always exceptions to the rule. But far and wide, and where life is right now, why would you want to? Again, everybody not supposed to be married. Point blank, period. But for those of you who have the desire, why would you stay in a relationship with someone who hasn't made a decision about you? Now, I'm for whatever works for you. Help you sleep at night. When you stand before your creator and give an account, that's all on you. But I'm saying, don't settle. Don't settle and don't waste your time. If he's not willing to commit, listen, you might meet the greatest person since sliced bread. But if you look up and we 2 years into whatever it is we doing, and you still don't know, you still don't want to commit, we can't even have a conversation about where the relationship is going. No. Because I'm not going to let nobody waste my time. You're not going to tie my time, and you don't want the same thing that I want, but you don't want nobody else to have me. What we not going to do is that at all. And what you need to understand is if you haven't solidified a commitment, if you haven't come to terms with that commitment, then I'm free to date whoever. I'm free. Until you put a ring, I'm free. Now you don't want me to be free? As in dude can come in? Then you better see what size ring go on this finger. Ah, all right. Looks like my comments are coming in now. When we know she's the one, we won't wait years to marry her. Men that strings a woman along is looking for someone better than you. Oh, Ronald, that's tight. But it's sure enough right. I could have a whole king. I would not waste my time. Don't waste your time. Exactly. Put a ring on it. Because look, here's the deal. Let me help somebody who's like, oh my God, if I buy her a ring. You got until you sign that paper to walk away. Ask me how I know. Should have never been in the last marriage. Because up until that point, I still could have walked away. Now I realize why I didn't. But up until that point, so hey, y'all get engaged, y'all make an announcement, y'all purchase, y'all rent a hall and the this and the that, and you buy a dress. All that stuff means nothing. I'd rather lose a deposit, resell a dress that I never wore, than to be in a marriage that's going to destroy me. No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So that your family don't say nothing, so that you don't look bad to the church people. I'm not going there tonight. It's not worth it. Wait. And don't let them other folks, them other nouns, pressure you into doing something that your heart does not feel at peace with. I know some people that got married because they were pressured. It's better to marry than to burn. Okay, but not marry a monster, whether male or female. I'm just saying, no, I'm not going to be pressured into marrying and I'm not at peace. No. Whether we dated for 2 weeks, I couldn't. 2 months, 2 years, 2 decades. No, not going to be pressured into being married, being in covenant. Because listen, I know a lot of people treat marriage and covenant like it's just a piece of paper. It's just a piece. Oh, it's just a piece of paper. No, a covenant is supposed to be a lifetime commitment. We don't treat it that way. Married to the wrong person is torture. I wish it on no one. Absolutely. I'm not going to be married and miserable. Ever. Ever. Again. So, have you established the things that, I don't know, see, me and Ronald go back and forth about a list. But in real life, look, in real life, Are there things that you've determined are going to work well for your life? Now, understand marriage is going to be a journey. The person you marry is not the person they're supposed to be 2, 3, 5, 10, 15 years. When I was younger, I didn't conceptualize that. But it's a hard thing to be in a marriage and that person is not interested in growing or transforming. No. So what are you going to do? What are the requirements? What's what is such a heavy decision. And so you got to make sure that you've done what you need to do to make a wise decision. What do you consider a reasonable amount of time from meeting to marriage? That's going to vary from person to person. Now, I'm not because I know some families that are this way. I know some instances that have done this. They met them, they was married in 2 weeks. Yeah, that's not your girl. It's not. You really have to know you, I believe, in your current state. I think you have to have some foresight and wisdom as to where you're purposed and destined to go. And then you got to have discernment, a prayer life, to see if this is the best person suited. There can be some good people in pursuit, but who's going to be the best for your life? I'm not interested in how many men can say they're interested. I want to know, are you God's best for Tisha's life? Not what it looked like on the surface, because at the end of the day, there's some stuff in you that I could not see because I got the woo-woos. Y'all know. Because I'm like, oh, he's amazing. He smells good. He dresses nice. He's so... Okay, after that, what? There's some things, potentially some things that person hasn't even considered that are going to come up. And you got to be ready. Or at least know that this is something that you're going to be able to handle. And you need help in determining that. People, right, wolves in lamb's clothing. People can do their best. And there are some people who are very good at what they do. There are some people who are good at showing you their best, only to get you behind closed doors. And that's where you see the monster. Yeah, those days are over. Yeah, we have to dig deeper. Absolutely. Dig deep. Ask the hard questions. Ask the hard conversation. I would say some stuff, but I don't want to get kicked off Facebook because some stuff you say on Facebook get turned around but if it's of concern to you, ask. Like Creflo did it in a sermon, but a lot of that stuff was real. What's in your bloodline? How as a woman are you capable of being faithful? What did you come from a faithful situation? Listen. And it might not even be that. Do they have the capacity to be faithful? Don't say too much about your relationship. You avoid a lot of wars in the spirit. Yeah, you gotta ask those hard questions. You really do. I think about, and I'm not a lot into celebrities. How would I feel if I married a man who ended up like the Jenners? That's all I'm saying. Were you dealing with some stuff that we didn't talk about? Yeah, like have the hard conversations for real. Like seriously. It and listen, so here's the thing with discernment. You might ask the right questions. You might ask questions that are right, but you might not know all of the questions to ask. So it wasn't enough for me to know that he loved his mother. It wasn't enough for me to know that they had a good relationship. There were some deeper things that I didn't know until after I divorced one of them. There was a relationship where, yes, I knew some of the family dynamics. And while they never exhibited behavior as a result of what they experienced as a child, but it came out in different ways. And so when you don't know, you don't even know to look for that stuff, but certainly you don't know to ask different kinds of questions, then you're going to find yourself in a crazy situation. And that's not the goal. The goal is to marriage be marriage is work, but it's fulfilling. It's a beautiful thing. You got to be healed from divorce to feel that way. I know some people that are like, I did that once. Ain't never, ever, 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 never, ever doing it again. Not healed. Or you come to understand that, yeah, that's not your cup of tea. When you've healed and you say that, but you say that right away, I'm like, yeah, okay. You're not equipped to make that decision when you just out of it, when you're fresh out of it, when you're out of it and haven't dealt with the issues, when you're out of it and you haven't even looked at, well, why didn't it last? Why did I marry this person? What happened in the midst of it that didn't work out so well? How would I do different? What did I do to enable that kind of behavior? How well did I love me in order to attract this kind of person to me? How desperate was I to be married that I made a decision on someone who couldn't possibly fill that space? How lonely was I to be in a relationship with someone who didn't quite all the way make me feel, but at least they was there most of the time. Nah, we're not doing that. How low do I feel by myself that I allow myself to be in a relationship with someone who is not building me up, but tearing me down for the sake of a place to stay? For the sake of a paycheck? No, no. It takes time. It does. Nah, Tisha at 21 was not taking the time. Tisha at 31 didn't take the time. But the person that I am, yeah, I gotta take time. Now we not taking all day, but we gonna take time. It's going to depend on the quality of time that you spend with the person. Y'all got a surface relationship. Y'all ain't talking about deep, intimate things. Y'all not spending time together like for real, for real. And even in that, you still might find that they're not best suited for your life. So you gotta have honest conversations with yourself. Am I willing to walk through this process with this person? Or do I cut my losses? We can be friends, I guess, if that's how y'all operate. We can be friends. We can do stuff at a distance, but I'm not going to stay connected to this person in that way. Certainly not going to be in a space where it appears that it's something that is not. Yeah. So kind of go back to the show. He don't want you, but he don't want to let you go. Yeah. No, we're not doing that either. So what's the rush? Can you meet the love of your life and be married right away? Sure. But for most of us, that's not going to be our situation. There are always exceptions to the rule. That's the exception. And woo, you got to know. And you got to know that you're the person making this decision and that it could go not the way that you wanted to. And instead, I agree. I had to unpack a lot of layers within me in order to heal. It takes time. So don't bleed on an innocent party. Please and thank you. Don't bleed on the next person. If you're not ready, don't let somebody convince you that you are and you know you're not. If you're not ready, say that. Ladies, because I've done it. Ladies, he will tell you where he stands and what he wants. Hear him. Even the most clever liar is going to tell the truth at some point. If you're listening, but you got to be listening, not all caught up. You got to be listening. If you're talking about making a life-changing decision such as marriage, you got to be listening, watching, and praying. All that so that you make a good decision. Look, it ain't easy. It's not easy, but you need the time. You need the time so that you can be in a place of peace. You need the time so that you can see how healed they really are, how real they really are. You need that time. And you need the time to see if with who I am and what's on my life, are we able to go to the next level? Everybody can't go. Let me talk about me. Where I'm going, gotta be special kind of guy to do that. Look, it ain't about me. Prettier women in the world, though I'm beautiful. Women that got more money than me, though listen, the Most High is doing great things. Hallelujah. We could go down a list, but I know that I'm blessed. And just anybody is not going to do. Nope. And the men that are in my life right now, they're not going to let just any man do. So I'm super excited about that. All right, you guys. I guess Jay could never get back in. Poor thing. So let's see. Even if it's not what we want to hear, respect their honesty. Absolutely. Dana, because listen, he will tell you what he thinks and what he feels. And even if it's the dude who is trying to lead you on, you'll still be able to hear that if you're listening. Hear what he's saying, not what you want him to say. Hear exactly what he's telling you and not what you want to hear. I'm just telling you. Because I care. I don't want you to make like the crazy mistakes I made. I don't want you to make the crazy decisions I made. At all. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to get on out of here. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Listen, go ahead and share the broadcast if you have not already done so. And if you want to connect with our group for the Lover in You group, you can go to bit.ly/Lover in You group. Join it or just reach out and say, hey, I want to be a part of the group, and we can add you to the group. Interesting conversation. Definitely relationship, marriage, and helping empower and heal people who are in a space. And listen, we have everybody in the group. So we have married people, we have single people, or unmarried people. So don't feel like, oh, I can't be a part of it. Yeah, join the conversation. If you have a long-lasting, fulfilling relationship, whether it's a marriage or a committed relationship, come join. Share some wisdom, share some nuggets so that you can empower somebody else to have the relationship that they desire that you've been living. Yeah. You as well, Dana. Thank you so much for being here. So yes, guys, we're gonna get out of here, but thank you so much. I appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate you taking the time to join us. Looking forward to another great Fiery Friday next week. Listen, have a great this holiday weekend. It got super cold here in Michigan. I'm hoping that somebody turn the heat up because they turned it off. Or something. But enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Don't do nothing crazy. Look, it's still the pandemic out here in these streets. Can y'all conduct yourself accordingly? I'm just saying. We trying to make it through summer, and I'm trying to go on a cruise in November. Somebody. So all right, you guys. Have a great, awesome one. Love you guys. Have a great one. See you soon.